Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Bookie Monsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, May 1st. Happy May Day. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching live if you are watching it live. Thank you for watching it later if that is what you're doing. I appreciate that you are taking some time out to look at the new releases because that's what we do in the morning. We look at the new releases that are being set into the wild each and every day this week, a different genre. Today is Wednesday, so we are looking at romances. Quick announcements. We do not have sprints tonight on my channel. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings, so we'll have them tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Let us hop in here. This one made me do a double take because that is a very lovely movie with Alan Rickman in it. Truly, Madly, Deeply by Alexandria Bellefleur. And it looks book-oriented from the cover. Sparks fly when a lovelorn romance novelist and... Hang on a second. Let me close out this one while I'm here. When a lovelorn romance novelist and a divorce lawyer who has sworn off relationships agree to co-host a podcast series offering dating advice to viewers. As a best-selling romance novelist, everyone thinks Truly Livingston is an expert on happily ever afters. She's even signed on to record a podcast sharing relationship advice. Little do they know, she feels like an imposter. Her parents just announced they're separating. She caught her fiancé cheating, and her entire view on love has been shaken to the core. Truly hopes the podcast will distract her until she meets her co-host. Co-host. Her first impression of Colin McRory is hot, but then he opens his extremely kissable mouth. Colin's view on love just pisses Truly off, even if he does have an annoyingly attractive face. Bickering with a cynical divorce lawyer is the last thing she needs, so she walks out with no plan to return. A few days later, Truly is surprised when Colin tracks her down, asking for a fresh start. Truly can't deny the little thrill she gets from Colin begging, so she reluctantly agrees. As they go from enemies to friends to something else entirely, Truly discovers they have more in common than she ever imagined, including their shared, I don't say that word, I'm sorry. When I grew up, that was a word you did not say out loud, like the N word. He's a genuinely good guy, charming, sweet, and equally as unlucky in love as herself, and there's something about Colin that drives Truly a little wild. When their attraction reaches a fever pitch, Truly is happy for the first time in years. Yet she can't help but wonder, is Colin truly madly, deeply in love with her, or is it all too good to be true? Why is that even an element in there? That makes me angry. Like they're throwing in a quote-unquote trendy thing just to be trendy. Good morning, Mary. Happy Wednesday. Spring and romance. Two peas in a pod. Indeed. Hope you had a good night. Happy Medium by Sarah Adler. Fake spirit medium Gretchen Acorn is happy to help when her best friend, read wealthiest client, that's sad, hires her to investigate the unexpected phenomena preventing the sale of her bridge partner's struggling goat farm. Well, goat farm. Gretchen may be a fraud, but she'd like to think she's a benef- beneficiatone. Okay, so if sorry, so if cleansing the property will help a nice old man finally retire and put some much needed cash in her pockets at the same time, who's she to say no? Of course, it turns out said bridge partner isn't the kindly AARP member Gretchen imagined. Charlie Wabel is young, hot as hell, and extremely unconvinced that Gretchen can communicate with the dead, which, fair. Except to her surprise, Gretchen finds herself face to face with Everett, the very real, very chatty ghost that's been wreaking havoc during during every open house. Apparently, more coffee is required. And he wants her to help ensure Charlie avoids the same family curse that's had Everett haunting Gilded Creek since the 1920s. Now, Gretchen has 1 month to convince Charlie he can't sell the property. Unfortunately, hard work and honesty seem to be the way to win over the stubborn farmer, not exactly Gretchen's strengths. But But trust isn't the only thing growing between them, and the risk of losing Charlie to the spirit realm looms over Gretchen almost as annoyingly as Everett himself. To save the goat farm, its friendly phantom, and the man she's beginning to love, Gretchen will need to pull off the greatest con of her life, being fully genuinely herself. Why do these all have like an element of ick to them? Maybe it's just me. In the meantime, let's get some coffee. Maybe that'll help. I got my new coffee maker yesterday delivered, so we are back in good coffee. That should help too. For Midnight Sin by Sophie Darling, third of seven in the Shadows and Silk series. Are we sure this came out? Okay. Can a Viking dot dot dot. Orphaned as a child, Captain John Nylander has never known a real home. Now he is ready to leave the dangers of his past behind and put down the roots he has always longed for. The only thing standing in his way is a lanky, aristocratic lady who is more at home on the farm than in the ballroom, and she has secrets. And a viscountess. Lady Calpurnia Radcliffe, the Dowager Viscountess St. Alban, has poured all her energy into making Woldcombe Grange her home. Managing an estate is not what Callie dreamed of, but her late husband's rejection made it clear that love and a family would never be hers. Now she may lose even that to a sinfully handsome captain. But Nylander is making her dream again. Dot, 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 dot. Turn passion into love. Nylander inspires a recklessness in Callie that she can't control. Soon she finds herself conspiring with pirates and contemplating midnight trysts with the very Viking who has turned her life upside down. For Nylander, being with Callie embodies everything he's always wanted home. As midnight strikes, will all their secret sinful dreams come true? That seemed to be pushing the midnight thing, but okay. Again, I might be in a snarky mood. I don't know why. I slept well. I slept really well, as far as I can remember. Happy May 1st. Hard to believe it's May already. The summer is nipping at our heels. Indeed. Hopefully, it won't be in the 90s again today for you. Well, not swap you, but you can come here. We're maybe going to hit 50, 51 today. We've got a little front moving in. Now that one is more my speed for Midnight Sin. May have to check that one out. Cool, cool. Effie Olsen's Summer Special by Rochelle Bilo. These childhood best friends swore they'd never speak again, but a surprise summer reunion changes everything when it gives them the chance to turn up the heat. Effie Olsen thought she'd never live on the tiny Maine island where she grew up, but she's returning from 16 years as a professional chef in far-flung countries for one summer and one summer only. Her hometown boasts one of the best restaurants in the US, and lucky for her, Brown Butter needs a sous chef. Effie's eager for a chance at redemption after her last job went up in flames, but reluctant to set down roots in a place that reminds her of the ghosts of her past. Until, that is, she runs into Ernie Callahan. You don't see that name very much. Her one time best friend, who now works in the very same restaurant. Early morning swims and late night games of truth or dare with Ernie remind her of what she's been missing while traveling the world. He knows her better than anyone, and it doesn't hurt that his smile lights her up brighter than the lighthouses dotting the craggy coastline. But the restaurant has a secret that's bursting at the seams, and if Effie doesn't keep it, her job will vanish into the foggy Maine air. As summer draws to a close, her dream job and the perfect guy are both within reach. Her salty seaside hometown might be the key to Effie's sweet ending if she can learn to let her heart lead the way in time. Because the Baron broods. by Darcy Burke, second in the Rogue Rules. Kind of like that cover. Hmm. Kind of has a retro kind of feel. I don't know, I like it. Growing up in isolation in Cornwall, Tamsin Penrose looks forward to the 1 month each year that she spends in an idyllic seaside town with her best friends. She's shocked to receive a letter from her reclusive father informing her of a potential groom. They've never even discussed marriage, and she rather expected to be a spinster. But she's met a charming, if serious, baron, and now she's dreaming of a romantic, wedded life. During his annual trip to a friend's seaside estate, broody Isaac Deverell, Baron Droxford, finds himself in an objectionable situation, socializing with a group of ladies over several days. He is not prepared for the storm of cheerfulness that is Miss Penrose, nor can he deny that she makes him feel good. Because Isaac is an unheroic rogue with a devastatingly sinful secret, he should flee this delightful ray of sunshine. However, he can't keep his distance, and when her overzealous suitor arrives and won't take no for an answer, Isaac protects her in a scandalously public fashion. Now he can't run from her. Can these attracted opposites find a happy ever after, or will the past destroy their chance? An Island Summer by Jenny Hale. A charming, feel good beach read about new beginnings, old secrets, and how home is where the heart is. All that Megan Gray has left of her beloved Pappy is his cottage on the edge of the shimmering Atlantic Ocean. Longing to feel close to her grandfather, she returns to the golden sands of Hatteras Island in the Outer Banks for the summer, clutching the manila envelope he gifted her tightly in her hand. But on her first night on the sun-drenched island, she meets brooding Toby Myers, a local businessman. She might feel lost without Pappy, but looking into Toby's sparkling blue eyes feels like coming home. As Megan strolls along the sand with Toby, breathing in the salty air, she feels like she is making new memories until she opens the envelope. Inside, she finds a black and white photograph of someone she doesn't recognize. If she can find out its meaning and why Pappy gave it to her, she'll unlock a secret that has been hidden for decades. But the truth has the power to change everything. Megan and Toby thought they knew about their lives and all, and it will either bring them together or break their hearts. Love you, mean it. Has a Pride and Prejudice feel for yeah, yeah. Even the cover did. This is by Julie Gagnon. Ellie Greco wishes she weren't stuck in Millborough. For a few brief shining years, she escaped her hometown to pursue her dream career, designing beautiful, elaborate costumes for theater, until her father's death 5 years ago called her home to run the family's decades-old deli. Yes, she loves the place, but she'd always thought she was meant for more exciting things than stocking the right tinned fish. But when Ellie hears that a local landlord is planning to rent to Mangia, the glitzy gourmet food department store, the very existence of Greco's Deli is suddenly in jeopardy. She tries to plead her case to Theo Taylor, scion of the property management firm that is about to put her out of business. But their meeting goes from bad, it's not her fault he's infuriating, to worse, no one expects the ceiling to literally fall in. With Theo out cold, Ellie panics and claims to be his fiancée and almost passes out herself when amnesia means Theo seems to actually believe her. There is so much to unpack here. Soon the effects of the head injury wear off, but Theo proposes that their engagement stick around. If they manage to convince enough people, they might both get what they want, an end to the Mangia deal. Ellie doesn't trust him. After all, if Theo Taylor wants it, how can it be good for her? But seeing no other option, she reluctantly agrees. And miraculously, the fake engagement seems to be working. Even Ted, Theo's shrewd, cold father, seems convinced. That is until Sam, Theo's ex-fiance, reappears on the scene. This is While You Were Sleeping movie. While only Not only does she see through the ruse, but she proposes an arrangement of her own, forcing Ellie to decide between a blossoming friendship, her family legacy, and the burgeoning romance she frankly never asked for. Wow, that's a lot. I don't know. feel like it's trying too hard or something. I don't know. King of Sloth by Anna Huang. Fourth in the Kings of Sin. Fourth of four. He'd never wanted anyone enough to chase them until he met her. Charming, easygoing, and rich beyond belief, Xavier Castillo has the world at his fingertips. He also has no interest in taking over his family's empire, much to his father's chagrin, but that hasn't stopped women from throwing themselves at him unless the woman in question is his publicist. Nothing brings him more joy than riling her up, but when a tragedy forces them closer than ever, he must grapple with the uncertainty of his future and the realization that the only person immune to his charms is the only one he truly wants. Cool, intelligent, and ambitious, Sloane Kensington is a high powered publicist who's used to dealing with difficult clients. However, none infuriate or tempt her more than a certain billionaire heir with his stupid dimples and laid back attitude. She may be forced to work with him, but she'll never fall for him, no matter how fast he makes her heart beat or how thoughtful he is beneath his party persona. He's her client, and that's all he'll ever be, right? Now, this next one was interesting. Interesting title. 888 Love and the Divine Burden of Numbers by Abraham Chang. Love is a numbers game. Young Wang has never young Wang has received plenty of wisdom from his beloved uncle. Don't take life too seriously, get out on the road when you can, and everyone just gets just 7 great loves in their life, so don't blow it. This last one sticks with Young as he's an obsessed cataloger of his life. Movies watched, favorite albums, all filtered through Chinese numerology and superstition. He finds meaning in almost everything, for which his 2 best friends endlessly tease him. But then at the end of 1995, when Young is at New York University, he meets Arena. She's beautiful, charismatic, quick-witted, and crassly funny. They fall in love, and for Young, it feels so real that he's thrilled and terrified. As Young and Arena's relationship blossoms, we get flashbacks to Young's first 5 loves. That means Arena is number 6. Was his uncle wrong? Is she the one and only? Or are they fated for failure to make room for Young's final 7th love? Kind of an interesting twist on it. Wine and Research, Citizen Soldier Series, book number 8 by Donna Michaels. Growing up, Elle Hudson lost herself in books as a form of escape after 2 separate tragedies claimed the life of her father and her brother. Her love of reading eventually blossomed into a successful writing career. Now she is in Poconos doing research for a new series with police officers as her heroes. They held a special place in her heart. Too bad the cop assigned to take her on ride-alongs is as arrogant as he is handsome. Jeremy Mercer was 10 when his father died in the line of duty, and his mother moved him and his sister from New York City to the Poconos. To serve and protect is in his blood, so it was only natural for him to follow in his father's footsteps and become a cop. He also joined the National Guard because helping people is his calling in life. Being assigned liaison to a romance author isn't part of that calling. Besides, he doesn't like writers, doesn't trust them. Too bad the woman he's stuck babysitting is as beautiful as she is sweet, unless she's putting on a front like his ex. Elle is there to write romance, not look for it, but there is no denying the chemistry between her and Jeremy. Even though they agree to do just that, they accidentally fall into bed several times. Not smart, especially when he opens up about his past, and she realizes just how deep their connection runs. Okay, we accidentally did that several times. Their Last Resort by R.S. Gray. Paige Young and Cole Clark are polar opposites. A world traveler since birth, Paige loves to lead activities for guests at a luxury island resort in the Turks and Caicos. From bingo nights to cliffside hikes, Paige is up for anything. Cole, meanwhile, prefers his number-crunching desk job. He's the assistant director at the resort, stiff and meticulous. He's so by the book that he keeps the book in his desk drawer. They're perfectly aligned in one way, though, their ability to drive each other crazy. Every day brings a fresh battle of wits. They're rivals arch nemesis, and they're definitely not never going to talk about that one time they kissed. Haha, nope. But when Paige finds out that Cole has been ordered to fire her on the same day a hurricane threatens their little slice of paradise, it's clear the game is over. At odds, in peril, and forced to shelter in place together, these two enemies might finally have to confront their true feelings. You know, the ones hidden under all those withering looks. The Roads We Follow by Nicole Deese. A cross-country road trip, a secretive box of journals, an unforgettable summer romance. As the youngest daughter of a country music legend, Reagan Farrell longs to establish an identity away from the spotlight and publish her small-town romances under a pen name. But after her dream is dashed when she won't exploit her mother's fame to further her own career, she hears a rumor from a reliable source regarding a all being written by a tell-all. Wow, being written about the Farrow family. Making matters worse, the unknown author has gone to great lengths to remain anonymous until publication. Reagan chooses to keep the tell all a secret from her scandal leery sisters as they embark on a 2 week cross country road trip at their mother's request, and makes it her mission to expose the identity of the author behind the unsanctioned biography. But all is complicated when she discovers their hired bus driver, Micah Davenport, has a hidden agenda of his own, one involving both of their mothers and an old box of journals. As they rely on each other to find the answers they seek, the surprising revelations they unearth will lead them down an unexpected road of love and reconciliation. The Library of Borrowed Hearts by Lucy Gilmore. Two young lovers, 60 long years, one bookish mystery worth solving. Librarian Chloe Sampson has been struggling to take care of her three younger siblings, to find herself, to make ends meet. She's just about at the end of her rope when she stumbles across a rare edition of a book from the 1960s at the local flea market. Deciding it's a sign of her luck turning, she takes it home with her, only to be shocked when her cranky hermit of a neighbor swoops in and offers to buy it for an exorbitant price. Intrigued, Chloe takes a closer look at the book, only to find notes scribbled in the margins between two young lovers back when the book was new. One of them is almost definitely Jasper Holmes, the curmudgeon next door. I would just give it to him. When she begins following the clues left behind, she discovers this isn't the only old book in town filled with romantic marginalia. This kickstarts a literary scavenger hunt that Chloe is determined to see through to the end. What happened to the two tragic lovers who corresponded in the margins of so many different library books? And what does it have to do with the old sad man next door who only now has begun to open his home and heart to Chloe and her siblings? In a romantic tale that spans the decades, Chloe discovers that there's much more to her grouchy old neighbor than meets the eye. And allowing herself to accept the unexpected friendship he offers, she learns that some love stories begin in the unlikeliest of places. And on that note, we are out of time. Oof, I think it was just me, but that seemed like a struggle. Like the title, The Library of Borrowed Hearts. That is a good title. All right, guys, we are out of time, and I have to go to work. Thank you for watching. Maybe there's something for you to check out further, or maybe it's just not a week for romance for you. But tomorrow we'll be looking at fantasy and science fiction. And then on Friday, we'll look at the other stuff that caught our attention that we didn't have time for, plus more cozy mysteries. Yeah, me too. I like the idea of that book. Unusual, at least not the unusual run of the real. Exactly. I'm interested in the marginalia stuff. That was the hook for me, so I might check that one out more too. Have a very good Wednesday. Again, no sprints tonight on my channel, but I will have them tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope you have a good day. Read good books. Please take care of yourselves. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And tell people about us. We'd like to have more people know about the new releases and so forth. So have a good day, and don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a great day, guys.